there are new changes coming from the Australian regulators affecting us as Forex traders. So let's discuss how that's going to change things with the Australian brokers. Let's get into it right now. Hi traders, Andrew Mitchem here at the Forex Trading Coach with video and podcast number 400. And today we're joined by Ben Clay from Blueberry Markets to discuss the upcoming changes through ASIC and how it's going to affect us as traders, whether we be in Australia or overseas. So Ben, welcome. Great to have you here today.
Thank you, Andrew. Thanks very much.
So Ben, we hear about these changes out of ASIC, so it's the Australian Securities and Investments Commission. So can you tell us how is this likely to affect us? But first of all, why are ASIC making these changes? What is it that they're doing and why are they doing it?
Sure. So essentially the changes are mainly to protect traders at the end of the day, especially new traders coming on board. There's a lot of new traders that come into brokers on 1 to 500 leverage, the maximum leverage that can be offered.
Right.
And that's just too much risk for someone who doesn't know anything about the Forex markets to be trading on. So these changes are to try and help new traders get a better understanding and trade on much lower leverage, which will be 1 to 30 for Forex pairs, so they can get an understanding of how the product works before jumping into higher leverage.
Okay, so it's mainly about leverage and protecting some of those newer traders.
Absolutely.
That's one of the reasons. So does that mean that once someone understands risk and they've been through trading for a while, things can change, or is that leverage that you just mentioned pretty much set?
No, that's exactly right. So when a client has a bit of experience and has some trading history, they can actually become what's called a sophisticated trader. So there'll be some extra parameters that they have to go through, which we'll send out to our clients in the next month. But it'll basically almost be a test to show that they understand the markets and that they clearly understand the risks of when it comes to Forex trading. Like myself, I trade on high leverage. It's just the way that I prefer to trade. So, me, myself, I would want to be listed as a sophisticated investor so I can have that as an option to trade on much higher leverage.
Right. So it's about educating the client as well. So they're not just going in there gambling and throwing it all away
Exactly.
And then it all goes wrong.
That's exactly right. And at Blueberry, that's something that we're really passionate about, is making sure that our clients understand the risks and people like yourself as well who are out there educating clients so that, they're not coming in and blowing up an account right off the bat on massive leverage.
Yeah. So you're teaching them about low risk and how to trade carefully and properly rather than the people that think they're going to double their account every week.
Exactly right. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. So it's a positive change that ASIC is making,
Yes.
And I think it's been a long time coming, and I think it's going to be beneficial for the industry as a whole.
Yeah, nice. So let's talk about Australian clients. You're in Australia, and I'm guessing a good number of your clients are too. So how does this affect them directly?
So as of the 29th of March, if they're not listed as a sophisticated investor for Forex pairs, they won't be able to have leverage higher than 1 to 30. And I believe for minor pairs, it's 1 to 20. For CFDs, it's 1 to 10.
Okay.
So, basically needing to have a higher margin and therefore less risk for each individual trade that they place. They're not able to have massive notional value contracts with outlaying a small amounts, and therefore, the profit and loss fluctuations are so much higher. They would have to trade much smaller to start off and get comfortable with it right off the bat.
Okay. And so that's for Australians. So I'm in New Zealand. Most of our clients are other places around the world. So they want to trade through Blueberry Markets. How will these changes affect those people?
So for our existing clients that are here with Blueberry, they will be moved to an offshore license under Vanuatu, which is the Vanuatu Financial Services Commission. So essentially there's no changes for our overseas clients. They still have the same login number, same client portal details. Funds are still held here in Australia. They will have the same account manager. So it technically doesn't impact those clients who are already experienced in trading. They can still have leverage up to 1 to 500.
Okay, so for most Blueberry clients then going forward, existing clients, there's not a lot of change for most people?
No, The only real difference would be if a complaint that cannot be resolved internally at Blueberry Markets goes further, then they would go to the Vanuatu Financial Services Commission instead of going to ASIC. But the big thing to note here is that we have a very good online reputation, and we focus on making sure that our clients are happy, and 99.9% of our complaints are resolved in-house. That's something that we will continue to do, and we'll continue to focus on building our reputation and making sure that our clients know that they can come to us and get the best service possible and be taken care of, and still have that trust with us as well. So this is even more important now that our overseas clients are moving to an offshore license. This is something that we take very, very seriously, and will continue to do so for forever.
Yeah, good. And so for someone who's not currently a client of Blueberry Markets right now, and they're looking at thinking, well, I'm looking for a broker, and let's say they're outside of Australia, can they come to you and join? Because I think there's a bit of a perception that that's not going to be possible.
Yeah, absolutely right. So they can definitely still come to us to join. As I said, everything basically remains the same. They would just be onboarded onto a different license, but everything will remain almost identical to them. So new clients can definitely still come and sign up. They just have to go through the normal application process, upload ID documents, and it'll be approved within 24 hours.
Okay, excellent. So someone's out there looking for a new broker. What should they be looking for, not just with yourselves, but with any broker going forward now, or any ASIC broker? What is it that they should be looking for?
That's a really good question. And I think this has changed a lot over the last 10 years or so. When I first started in the industry, every broker was just competing on spreads. Whoever had the tightest spread was the broker you would go with. And then it came down to regulation. But a lot of these tier 2 and tier 3 countries have now got really good regulation, like Vanuatu. So most brokers are regulated. Obviously, stay away from the ones that have zero regulation. But it all comes down to reputation. As we're in this modern world of online reviews, you can go look and find anything you want to know about any broker you're looking at, whether it's us or someone else. Just make sure that there's plenty of good reviews and that you have a good read of them, that they're not fake. There's going to be some negative reviews here and there, but the really important thing to do is do your research on the broker that you're going to. And you can even get more granular with that and look at who's behind the broker. Go look at the LinkedIn profiles of the directors and find out as much information as possible about the broker that you're looking for before signing up. In my opinion, it's reckless not to do your research and really ask as many questions as you can to your broker when signing up.
Yeah, definitely. And what if somebody wanted to come to you directly and just ask some questions? Is that something they could do? Could they call you? Can they email you?
Of course, absolutely. So we have live chat 24/7. So that's on the weekends as well. People can come to our live chat. You can email me directly if need be. I'm the partners manager here at Blueberry Markets, but I'm always happy to help with whatever you can. My email is just ben.clay@blueberrymarkets.com, or you can reach out to support@blueberrymarkets.com, and we'll get back to you very quickly.
Awesome, Ben. Well, look, I think from my point of view, being outside of Australia especially, I think it's a big relief to hear what you've said, because initially it was a little bit of a, wow, we're going to not be able to trade through Blueberry any longer. So it's good that we're able to have this conversation and continue offering good education from our side and good quality service and brokerage from your side. So I'm very pleased that that's going to continue, but with even more licensing and quality behind the scenes from ASIC as well, which is good.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll still be regulated by ASIC, of course. So I really appreciate that, Andrew. This is, as I said, this is very important to us, and it's even more so important now to keep up our reputation and just to keep our clients happy and satisfied. That's the most important thing at the end of the day for us.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Ben. I think that's been very valuable information. It's been good clarity as well, because we've had a huge amount of questions, like I'm sure you have too. And
I've had a lot of phone calls. Yes,
I bet you have. Yes. So it's really good to just to help people out and give people sort of options, and from the horse's mouth, as it were, of what's really happening, which is good. So thanks you very much, Andrew, for doing that.
No, that's okay. I have to say I thank people like yourself who are out there, educating people on how to trade, and really have you really have a goal to help people. Instead of just looking for an extra dollar, and it really shows, and a lot of your clients speak those high volumes of you as well. So I appreciate what you're doing too, Andrew.
Oh, that's good. I think we're both on the same page, and we both have that interest, that passion to, to help people who want to do well for themselves as well. So that's really good, which is
Absolutely.
why we partner and why it works. So thank you, Ben.
No worries, mate.